Alright, so here we are again with the Jeep this morning. We're going to work on a few things today. We got to get that brake line fixed so we can get the Jeep actually moving. Also, I picked up a new fuel skid plate here. So we're going to clean that up today, put that on the vehicle, drop the tank. We got a fuel sending unit we have to put in it as well. So we have brake lines, fuel sending unit, and the skid plate. So we got a lot to do today. Let's get cracking. All right, so you can see here how bad off this skid plate is, this fuel skid plate. It's completely rusted through. The band's barely holding everything on. So we have to remove the nut sack here on the back, spray that with some PV blaster before we get started on the fuel line. But this is the brake line rather. But this is what we're working with, so we got a lot to do. It's just completely tattered, hanging down there. We'll get that replaced. All right, out. What's left of the skid plate is out. So we'll pressure wash that, clean it up, change the fuel pump and the sending unit. All right, so what we have here is a failure to communicate, literally. What it is it must not have been getting a good connection, because when we have the sending unit and the fuel pump out of the tank and have it hooked up still, the fuel gauge is reading properly. Whether or not we have the float down to empty or have it on full or halfway, the gauge is still showing that. So we have an ohm meter put up to it, and as you can see there, it's negative 382 when it's on empty, and when we move it to full, it does change. It's a negative 47.
That's just because the leads are swapped.
It'll be positive. We switch the leads around. But the sending unit and the fuel pump, we know the fuel pump was working because it was getting fuel. But the sending unit, it looks like it's working now because of a better connection. We connected it back up outside the tank, and it looks like it's working. So I'm not sure what the problem was, but it doesn't look like we need to change the sending unit. So good to know, but we went through all that work for nothing. As you can see here, the plastic fuel tank's in pretty good condition. So we're moving on now to the skid plate to get this cleaned up. This is going to take forever. Time to bring in reinforcements. All right, this should be better. We'll get this sanded down quick with this pad. Then we can prime it, get it painted, and get it back on. All right, so what we decided to do, since we had to drop the fuel tank anyway, to change the fuel sending unit and the fuel pump, and then also we're doing the brake line and things. Since we had the fuel tank out, what we're going to do is we're actually going to repair the frame on the driver's side rear down here where you see all this rust. It's by the shackle right there. We're gonna repair that. We ordered a kit online. We're gonna repair that, weld it in. While we're welding, we're gonna go ahead and weld in the floor pan of the driver's side as well that needs it. So once we do that, then we can put the fuel tank back up in place and get it going, okay?